How come I'm not stopped out of UPSD? Because I wanted to give it a little bit of room. I'm thinking the 10 weekly. It's a small position, so I can give it some leeway. Otherwise, if I had a bigger position, I would have probably sold it when it lost the 20-day on this day here. But it's just a really small position. It's like 3% position on my whole portfolio, so I'm trying to give it some room. I'm working with on my patience. This is how you get used to new things, okay? Slowly, one step at a time. You don't go from day trading to swing trading overnight. It's a process. I'm trying to increase my time frames. It's a process. You start small, get comfortable with it, and then you go bigger. BT could be a nice short. It's just a small cap. Yeah, you know, be very cautious shorting small caps, unless they like parabolics, and unless you do it intraday. What's TNA doing? Okay, it's going lower. Good. The worst feeling in the world is when you sell something and it goes higher. I don't recommend that feeling to anyone. Pattern recognition, if I think it varies from person to person, yes. It's very subjective. It's not an exact science. HCMP. I don't know, it's all over the place. It looks pretty decent on the weekly. But it feels like it's gonna break out, pull back, stop you out, and then go. It feels like that kind of a stock. It's all over the place. It doesn't really have a lot of momentum. Well, actually, it does have a good longer-term momentum, but... And GMBL, I'm seeing his notes now. Yeah, so yeah, like when you get these microcap stocks, you want them to surf the 10 and the 20-day, not the 50-day. His entry was here. It wasn't a great setup. It was so sloppy before it, but also, you know, like these microcap stocks, you know, when they get to the 50, it's probably most of the time an avoid. If it's a mid to large cap, 50-day works really well, as well as any of the other moving averages. And when you don't get good setups, you don't trade. But obviously for a new trader, it's kind of hard to determine what's a good setup and what's a mediocre. And that's why it's so important to actually study, spend hundreds and hundreds of hours and look at what do the patterns look like before a stock makes a big move. You will, you know, and what type, like how do stocks move? You'll quickly see which stocks are worth it and which ones are not. Or actually not quickly, but it takes years. It takes years to get good at it. Choppy markets are way worse than bear markets. Bear markets are easy. Bear markets are easiest, well, not the easiest markets to trade, but they're kind of easy because there are no setups. And you know you shouldn't trade even if there are setups. And you know, there's really not many good setups in a bear market. Yeah, exactly. Like the small and micro cap stocks, even if you get setups, like a lot of them will fail until this Russell starts breaking out and going higher. That's you know, yeah, you know, something to keep in mind. Like the big money in micro and small cap stocks and mid caps too is when the Russell goes higher like this. When the 10-day is rising, 20-day is rising, and the 10-day is above the 20-day. You know, in a period like this, if you know how to trade, you're gonna double, triple, quadruple your account. Double if you don't use margin, or actually you're gonna double, triple your account if you don't use margin, and triple, quadruple, or more if you use margin. So you know, you want to wait for these types of periods as a swing trader. That's where the money is. Or periods like these, right? Otherwise, you gotta be super selective and really just only trade the 5-star opportunities. And if you don't know the difference between a 3-star opportunity and a 5-star opportunity, you probably shouldn't trade it, or trade it with much smaller size than you would have. Because you have to understand, like in trading, like if you go to a regular job, you're gonna get paid the same. No matter how you do at work, you can have a shitty day, get nothing done, you're still gonna get paid the same that day. Versus a day where you really work really hard and get a lot of shit done. Not the same in trading. Every day is not an opportunity to make money. Every day is an opportunity to lose money. And the same can be said for weeks and months also. Every week and every month is not an opportunity to make money. It's an opportunity to lose money. Gotta be super selective. Well, Russell is significant if you trade micro and small cap stocks. Like, I don't care about Russell that much. I just don't trade those stocks a lot. Sometimes I do, but they're usually smaller sizes. They're usually very liquid. I care more about like QQQs. That's like my index. This is where a lot of the stocks I trade are, or the Nasdaq overall. Like, this is what I care about. But most of you, Russell is probably gonna be a bit more relevant. But again, you shouldn't, base all your decision making on the index. You should look at the individual setups, because a good setup will still work out even if the index is going sideways. A good, something with a very strong momentum and very strong catalyst can still work out and make a big move. But again, you have to be patient. You have to be super selective. Kumu, yeah, people keep mentioning this Kumu. It's just, this thing trades less than like $5 million volume. Like, guys, you shouldn't even look at something like this. Have at least like a $5 or $10 million volume cutoff on your scans. These things there's no need to trade like these ultra liquid stocks. It's just, even if you have tiny accounts, there's just no need to do it. UAVS, it had a wide range candle yesterday. Like, yesterday was the entry day, in my opinion. Yeah, wow, late day it had a big pop. It undercut the 20-day moving average, reclaimed, and then yesterday it broke out. Yes, FTCH is an earnings gapper, since it's gapping up and it reported earnings. That is absolutely correct. Is it a good buy setup? Well, that's another question. It is kind of extended. Not really my type. Like, down here, this was like a good setup. Like, it came out of a nice base. Had been building higher lows, bounced off the perfectly off the 20-day, rising 20-day, reported earnings, and kept going higher. But now it's already kind of extended. Can it go to 35? Sure, but I don't know.